500 or more years ago, Navadvip was a center of all learning in the universe. Famous yogis, jnanis and highly educated people would assemble in Navadvip to debate and display their high learning. This was also the place where very exalted Brahmanas would visit and pay respects to the sages like Advaitacharya. One saintly Brahmana, who was most virtuous, was touring the places of pilgrimage in order to obtain Sri Krishna. He used to worship Gopala by chanting the 6-syllable Gopala mantra, and without having offered bhoga to Gopala, he would eat nothing. Hanging from his neck like a brilliant jewel was his Bala Gopala Salagrama. By his transcendental good fortune, one day he came to the house of Jagannath Mishra in Navadvip. The pious pilgrim's Brahmatejas was incomparable. From his mouth, the sound Krishna Krishna was always emanating, and within his heart, he is always relishing the transcendental mellows of affection for Govinda, such that his eyes were always filled with tears. Seeing such a devotee, Jagannath Mishra at once got up and offered him respects. Jagannath Mishra did everything appropriate to receive his exalted guest. He offered him an elevated seat. And washed the Brahmana's feet with water, inquiring him about his welfare.
Dear most Brahmana, where is your residence?
Having indifferent to my household life, I had left my own home and now I wander from one holy place to another. And I cannot be attached to just any place any longer. That's why I constantly wander.
Actually, I think you are wondering about just to spread good fortune to the residents of the world. Some good fortune is mine. If you give me your order, I will make arrangements for your meal.
Mishraji, whatever you desire.
Please stay in my humble abode. While you refresh yourself, I will make all the arrangements for your meal.
Sri Mishraji, in great ecstasy, led the Brahmana into his house. Sri Mishraji collected the best of all the materials, and he cleaned the kitchen thoroughly. He presented everything to the Brahmana. He supplied the best of all the foodstuffs from his pantry. The Brahmana, becoming very happy, cooked everything. And sat with eyes closed in meditation to offer the bhoga to Sri Gopala Krishna, his Shalagrama Shiva. Sri Sachinandana is the all-knowing super soul in the hearts of all living entities. He decided to give his darshana to that Brahmana. The Brahmana had just begun his meditation when the Lord crawled into his presence. His whole body was covered with dust. His eyes were very restless, and his feet were most beautiful. The child laughed and took a mouthful of bhoga, and the Brahmana's meditation was broken. That fortunate Brahmana saw what had happened and cried,
Hi!
Sri Jagannath,
This child has ruined my offering!
Sri Jagannath Mishra saw little Nimai eating rice and smiling. Mishra became furious and ran towards the child to beat him. The Brahmana caught Jagannath Mishra with his hand.
You are very great. You are very intelligent and a pious gentleman. You know better than this to hit the child. You know the nature of the children. They don't make distinction between good and bad. So please don't hit the child.
Sri Mishra, becoming dejected, sat down and held his head in his hands. He was so angry he could say nothing.
Don't be so dejected. Some days are like this. Bhagwan knows everything. So please don't be feel so dejected.
If you make me able to serve it, please once more to my kitchen. It will make my mind peaceful.
Alright, Mishraji. If that is what you desire, I will cook again.
Hearing this, everyone in the house was happy and somehow or the other collected everything from other places, cleaned everything and arranged for the Brahmana to again cook. As the Brahmana prepared to cook again, the ladies in the house got together with Sri Mishraji.
This child is too restless. See that he is restrained and cannot return again to cause more disturbances.
For as long as the Brahmana is cooking, take Nimai to the other house and keep him there.
Yes, I shall make sure that Nimai stays home. Can't come unless you say it's okay.
Then Sachi Mata, holding young Nimai, took him away to another house.
What Nimai? Why did you eat Brahmana's offering?
What fault mine is it? The Brahmana himself told me to eat.
You rascal Nimai. You ate his cooking. Do you know where he has come from and which caste he belongs to? Now what will you do now? How will you maintain your caste?
I'm just a cowherd, but I have to feed the Brahmana all the time. And the cowards pass and spoil by eating the cooking. Of eating the cooking of the Brahmana.
They all looked at Nimai's mouth and began to laugh. Sri Gaura was explaining his factual identity, but they were unable to understand a single thing of it. Hearing the Lord's words, they simply laughed and squeezed Nimai to their breasts. They were unfazed.
In my head, I will be. Me too, I'll be there. You tried it once?
The Brahmana again finished cooking and offered the bhoga to Gopala with his eyes closed, seated in meditation. He began to meditate upon Balagopala in his heart. This fact was taken note of by Sri Gaurachandra. He is the Lord within the heart, bewildering everyone and laughing to himself. He somehow escaped that house and arrived once more to where the Brahmana was meditating. Quietly, he sneaked a fistful of rice and put it into his mouth. The sounds of his munching broke the Brahmana's meditation. He saw Nimai.
Hi! You did it again!
Nimai swallowed the rice and ran off. Sri Krishnaji saw this, grabbed a stick and ran
If I
after
catch you for
Nimai.
what you have done today, I will beat you with this stick. Where is the great thief of a son of mine, whose house he is hiding in?
Nishaji, you are very great and magnanimous. You ought to forgive such minor mistakes. He is just a small kid. How can you beat this kid with a stick?
Somehow or the other, the pious Brahmana appeared on the scene and clutching Jagannath Mishra's hand said,
Mishraji, look, there is no fault in this boy. So please don't be so dejected. And some days are like this.
Jagannath Mishra simply stood there, completely angry and completely miserable. At this point, Vishwarup arrived there. There was incomparable beauty in all of his limbs, and he had great transcendental effulgence and charming countenance. With the Yajna Sutra hanging from his shoulder, he was the personification of Brahma Tejas. Seeing such an unprecedented personality, the pious Brahmana was struck with wonder and began to look at him. His eyes filled with tears. He asked,
Noble sir, whose son are you?
He is elder son of Jagannath Mishra.
Hearing this, the Brahmana became very happy and embraced Vishwarup.
What a great, fortunate, auspicious day has come upon me. My house is blessed with such a saintly personality as your grace. Great personalities like you wander from one place to another and bless the denizens of this planet with your purifying association. Having had your darshana, I am the most fortunate, but after hearing what everyone else is saying, I feel most unhappy.
Don't be unhappy about anything. If you have any roots or berries in your house, I am content to eat that only. Some days are like this only. Sometimes nice grains are cooked, and sometimes there are obstacles which make these things impossible. So please, don't be unhappy about anything.
I'm a little fearful to say this, but you are a great personality. And great personalities like you are unhappy at the unhappiness of others, and they are jubilant at the rejoicings of others too. So if you are pleased, be kind to offer your bhoga to Lord Krishna, then everyone's unhappiness will be mitigated. Then we will all experience Brahmana. Please don't take offense. Please cook something at least and offer to the Lord. Then everyone will become happy.
Bowing down, he clutched the feet of the Brahmana in his hand with this entreaty.
Please. All right, I will cook again.
Hearing this, everyone became joyful again, singing out, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. They all cleaned the kitchen again. Everything was assembled and ready.
Mishraji, lock the door from outside so that Nimai won't come in.
Good, I already locked the door from inside too. Meanwhile, the rest from the outside lock the door.
Don't worry, Nimai has gone to sleep. We won't be going out to eat anything tonight.
The Brahmana soon finished his cooking.
Shekhar, can you switch off the middle, please? Switch it off. Just the middle.
The Brahmana soon finished his cooking. That fortunate Brahmana then began to offer his bhoga to Lord Balagopala. Nimai then left the house while everyone was sleeping. By this time, it was late at night. Nobody knew about this. Nimai appeared at the place where the Brahmana was meditating. Seeing the child again, the Brahmana again cried.
Hi, he comes again.
In utter frustration, he began to cry. But this time, nobody heard him. They were all fast asleep.
Oh, Brahmana, you are very exalted. What is my fault if I come as soon as you call me? Chanting my mantra evoking my name. How can I not come? Every time you're making your offering with such pure devotion, so every time I come to do my darshan.
that very moment, the Brahmana had the darshan of Lord Gaura in a wonderful form. Before him, Lord Chaitanya manifested his 8-armed Balagopala form. In 4 hands were the conch, disc, club and lotus. With 2 hands, he was playing the flute. In 1 hand, he was holding a ball of butter, and with the other hand, he was eating butter. Upon his breast was the vrksha and the Kaustuba jewel, and brilliant garlands of jewels hung from his neck. All of his limbs were bedded with beautiful ornaments and jewels, and upon his head was an ornament of gunja beads and a peacock feather. The lips of his moon-like mouth were enchanting, and he looked about here and there as he smiled. He had a Vaijayanti mala, and there were shark-shaped earrings swinging from his ears. There were jeweled ankle bracelets upon his feet, and his toenails were resplendent. The Brahmana then saw the Lord was beneath the Kadamba tree, and he saw Vrindavan. There were birds flying in all directions, on all the sides of the Lord. There were cows, gopas and gopis. Whatever the Brahmana was accustomed to meditating upon within his heart, that beautiful vision was now manifested directly before his eyes. That fortunate Brahmana saw such a wonderful opulence that he simply fainted in bliss. The ocean of mercy, Sri Gaurasundara, held him in his own transcendental hands. From his touch, the Brahmana regained consciousness, but he was struck dumb with transcendental bliss, and he could not even utter a word. Again and again, he fainted to the ground, and again he would rise in great ecstasy. There were perspirations, trembling, horripilations, and all manifestation of ecstatic symptoms in his body. A vast river of tears flowed from his eyes. For a moment, the Brahmana regained his sense and fell at the feet of Sri Gauranga and began to cry loudly. Seeing the condition of this Brahmana, Lord Gauranga began to laugh.
Hey Priyavara, listen, you are my servant for many births. You are desiring my darshan for many births, again and again. I am always giving you my darshan in just this way. In a previous birth, I gave you my darshan in the house of Nanda Maharaj, but you don't remember this. When I appeared in the home of Nanda Maharaj, you too appeared in that birth as a Brahmana, wandering from one holy place to another holy place. You don't remember all these things. In that birth, you offered me your bhoga in just this way. At that time, I tricked you and ate all your offering, giving you my darshan in just this way. Devipra, you are my servant, birth after birth. How could you get the darshan of such wonderful form if it was not so? Vipra, listen. This is very confidential matter. You should not disclose this one to anyone. If you mention this one to anyone, I will annihilate you. I have now appeared in this world for the purpose of spreading Krishna Sankirtana, and I will do this. I will go house to house, giving out such devotional service which Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva cannot desire.
In this way, Sri Gaurasundara pacified the Brahmana and bestowing his mercy upon him left him. Becoming as if an ordinary baby again, he went to sleep with his mother. Having seen this wonderful form of the Lord, the Brahmana, his whole body was filled with ecstasy, took the wonderful prasadam of the Lord and danced in ecstasy, crying, laughing and singing.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So as you can see, the Bhakti Vriksha group put together this small play and engaged everyone in this beautiful pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I hope you all enjoyed it. So I'll just take a moment to introduce all the performers. And of course we have to start with Nimai. And Nimai was Shweta.
Shrestha.
Shrestha.
Haribol.
Haribol. Very nice performance. Thank you. And Shrestha's father was Jagannath Mishra, Samba Prabhu.
Haribol.
Mataji, I don't know Mataji's name. Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
And the neighbor accompanying lady was Shresha Mataji.
Haribol.
Vishwaru Prabhu was Bhakti Vinod Prabhu.
Haribol.
And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Ganesh Prabhu.
Haribol.
And the Brahmana, the exalted Brahmana who did such a great performance, Anil Rawat Prabhu.
Haribol.
And of course, the director. Before I introduce the director, the voice was Teja Vardhani Mataji.
Haribol.
The music was provided by Kandaswami Prabhu.
Haribol.
And finally we have Madhukar Prabhu who directed the whole play.
Haribol.
And above everyone is of course Bal Gopal. Haribol. I have one more announcement to make, if you don't mind.
The concept, idea and the play, everything is provided by Shyam Bihari Prabhu. He was encouraging all of us to play once in a month these kind of skits. And Haribol to Shyam Bihari Prabhu.
Haribol!
And regarding dinner prasadam, we would like to request first children go have the dinner prasadam, and then all devotees, elderly devotees, please form a queue. The prasadam is served in the formal dining hall, and there would be devotees, volunteers to help you get the prasadam. But please form a queue, unlike last time where it was a big crowd at the same time, same place.